Welcome back to the realest channel on YouTube. We know we have a big fight this weekend. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. This fight's 3 years in the making. Both guys have been chit-chatting. Both guys have trained hard. So we're nearly at that day where we finally see them throw hands and the world is interested. It was a star-studded lineup at the press conference, and Cristian has kindly chopped up the bits to me that he thinks I should react to. So without further ado, this is me, Viddal, reacting to the Tommy Fury, Jake Paul press conference.
A little bit different for him than all of the previous ones in terms of how much attention he gives it, how serious he's taking it, and the level of commitment he has to his camp.
To be fair, I've handled Tommy since he's been a pup, but I think we've worked more on manners coming to Saudi and presenting ourselves right in this great country than actual training for the event. We know what we've got to do. We're professionals. Fighting, boxing is what we do, and we've done it. We've left no stone unturned. We're coming here to do one thing: knock Jake Paul out.
Jake.
Obviously, that's John Fury's little bit that he had to add there. I do feel like he puts extra on Tommy's shoulders to handle, as it's already a big occasion. But John believes in his son, and you know, what more can you ask for, really? You want him to believe in him, you want him to back him, and sometimes he might go a bit over the top, but at the end of the day, he backs his son. So what can we really say?
What's the game plan, bro? How are you gonna stop this man you've been calling out for the last 3 years of your life? What's the plan? How are you gonna destroy him?
Look, we've picked this guy apart. We've studied him. He makes a lot of mistakes. He's great on offense, has got a good jab, lots of combos, speed, good footwork, good movement.
So we see here that Jake, you know, he knows the challenge at hand. He knows who he's going up against. He knows what he's good at. You know, he knows what he's bad at. But when a fighter can openly say, this is what I give you as credit, that means that, you know what I mean, they're level-headed. They're in the realm of truth, and that's a man that's more dangerous than someone who belittles their opponent and acts like they got nothing to give. So yeah,
he's a good boxer, but he's not a great boxer, and his lack of defense and lack of head movement is going to be exposed on Sunday.
All right, let's take it over to Tommy Fury. Let's start with Tommy. Have you ever intentionally dodged Jake?
And also, I want to give a quick shout out to the man who's currently speaking, Amir Abdullah, because he had a vision, and you have to respect anyone that has a vision and can make it real. And he saw, you know, in 2018, I believe, how big the crossover world could be, how far it could go, and what he could bring to it, what he feels he could bring to it. And to see him sitting there at the table in arguably one of the biggest crossover boxing matches to happen, he deserves his credit. So shout out to Amir Abdullah for that, and I'm sure we'll see more events out in Saudi after this one where he is there.
Paul.
And no, definitely not. I mean, I think people's got it twisted. I'm in boxing and having goals of being a world champion, so if I am to do that, I can't be dodging people like Jake Paul. Believe you me, the past 2 fights didn't happen because of it being out of my hands completely. The first fight, broke rib. Doctors advised me not to fight. What do you want me to do? Second fight, went to the airport with my full team, ready to go. Denied access into the USA. Still ongoing. Third time's a charm. And we're here, and I'm in super fit condition. I'm ready to go and put this all to bed, because for the past 2.5 years, all it's been is, when are you fighting Jake Paul? Da-da-da-da. To even mention my name in the same sentence as that, it's disrespectful to me, who's been boxing my
Tommy looked serious. From this clip
whole
here,
life.
just to
and I'm going to clinically knock this guy out early.
We've seen a lot online. We've seen a lot of your training. It has not been filmed by you. You've been very focused in this camp. Almost, if you allow me to say, more focused than I have ever seen you before. And I've watched you throughout your career. I've been on the opposite side of your sword in previous fights. And this side, you know, we're taking the promotion role here, and we're delighted to have you on here. But you have taken a different approach on this fight. You've moved your camp to Dubai. You're training in the infamous Kamani gym alongside Badu Jack and a lot of the world champions there. Have you taken this fight more serious, and is this fight changing your perspective on your career?
I mean, I always take every fight seriously. You know, I've fought UFC champions. You know, Tyron Woodley was winning the UFC championship while I was on Disney Channel. So when Tommy says, you know, I've been doing this my whole life, none of that means anything. I've always trained harder. I've always trained tougher than all of my...
I asked Cristian to cut up a video that I can react to, and so far, I ain't got nothing to say. But thanks a lot, Cristian. I'm going to forward this a little bit.
Opponents, and the biggest opportunity of his life. He's never been on a stage like this. So really, this is what I do now. And Anderson Silva is one of the greatest strikers ever. Top 5 greatest combat strikers ever. So cakewalk. There's nothing he can do to stop me. He doesn't have power. You know, he couldn't knock out Daniel Bochinski. He can't knock out the taxi drivers he's been put in there with, who have a combined record of 20 wins and 250 losses. And when
that is kind of mad, though, to have your opponent record be 20 wins and 250 losses is kind of brazy. But obviously this whole section here, Jake's just, you know, he's validating who he's fought before, which he has the right to do. And yeah, he just doesn't believe that Tommy is as good as Tommy believes he is, or his dad thinks he is, or as much or as good as a 9-0 professional should be. So yeah, this is...
I say that stat, my friend came up to me and was like, his opponents have the record of the opponents now is like 30 wins and 350 losses. So he's never been put in there with someone
30
who
wins
wasn't
and
there
350
to lose.
losses.
So on Sunday when he's in the locker room warming up, he's put me in there with scrubs, and now I have a real fight, 8 rounds. He's never been 8 rounds, and he's going to get into the deep waters and drown, and I promise that.
Tommy, your answer to that?
Well, I've got a few things. Basically, it keeps on going on and on and on about Anderson Silva and Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley was 40 years old. Anderson Silva was nearly 50, not too far off my dad's age. And he took the full distance. And everybody knows in this building who knows about boxing, MMA fighters are not boxers. We all know that. I've absolutely took apart.
Now Tommy's saying his part about he's only fought old people and MMA guys. Hey, Cristian, this is pretty boring, bro. You didn't give me nothing to work with here. It's gonna be a short ass video once you edit, my opinion.
They're not boxers, and this guy couldn't even deal alone what this guy is, a great striker, yeah, in MMA, not boxing. He still went 8 rounds with him. Legitimate fighter who would have it inside and outside the ring. I'm not for lights, camera, action. This is in my heart, blood and soul, and you're gonna feel that. Let me tell you now, I'm not a 50-year-old man, and when you're in the opposite corner and you're getting hit all about the head, blue flashes, you're going to wake up and realise what boxing is. It's not to fight old men. You've got a proper... You're getting put to sleep inside 4 rounds.
So Tommy predicts he'll sleep him inside 4. I don't... You know, obviously the fight is 8 rounds. It's good to make predictions. I don't think he puts him to sleep inside 4. I've seen people saying the longer it goes, the more it's in Jake's favor, which is, you know, it should really be the other way around since Fury's the more experienced fighter. But I do think he's going to come out blazing, and I do think he's going to try and take it to Jake straight away. So his plan to get him out within 4 fits in with what I thought he would do, but hopefully he has a plan exceeding if the fight goes past 4 rounds. So if the fight exceeds 4 rounds, hopefully you got a plan for that.
Let me tell you, I'm not an old man here. I'm a fresh young fighter. I'm going to put you away. You had 2 very lucky escapes of this fight. You should have took the escapes. You should not be sitting here right now because this is bad for you. You've blown your ticket. You should have stuck to making easy money fighting old men, celebrities. I'm coming to take your head off.
Great.
Hey, Fury, he's on smoke. Tommy, I feel like he's on smoke. He left his child. Listen, man left his child behind, yo. He left his child behind, yo. Freshborn baby to come and scrap, man. So I know he's got a different vengeance in his chest, and a vengeance that he would have never had before when he stepped in the ring, because he was only really fighting for himself and his girl, and obviously people that you always have been around. But to have a child and now know I got my own family, I'm fighting for my youth right now. It's a different sort of motivation, and in his voice it sounds like he's rolling with that sort of motivation. So interesting.
I think we make a deal then, since you're so confident. I think we make a deal. If you win,
We know Jake loves the deal. We know Jake loves the deal. Let's see the deal. Something about man's gonna have no money if something.
I'll pay you double what I'm paying you already. But if I win, I take everything that I'm paying you.
Delicious.
Deal or no deal.
So he pays man double.
I'm paying you.
Delicious.
What I'm paying you already. But if I win, I take everything that I'm paying you.
Delicious.
Deal or no deal. Since you're so confident. Deal or no deal, since you're so confident.
But Jake likes drawing man out like this. He loves drawing man out like this over the money thing. But reality is you have to just stand your ground and let man chat what he's gonna chat, because you agreed what you agreed. You signed what you signed. Don't let man draw you out 3 days before the fight and say, yeah, fight for nothing now. Yeah, agree to this, you know what I mean? But hey,
Take it.
Deal or no deal.
Take it. Take it.
Deal or no deal. I want to shake on
Why
it.
are you going to stand up like you want to do
man?
something? Sit back down.
I just wanna shake your
Sit
hand.
back down. Sit back down.
So is he gonna agree to it?
You've dealt. You've got a deal. All or nothing.
Rah, 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 rah. Hey, John, chill. Hey, John needs to chill, you know. John said, yeah, man. All or nothing. Like, whoa, Tommy, you gotta make the answer. Tommy has to answer first. You can't answer on man's behalf like that. You know what I mean? You gotta let him run it. But John's on it, so now Tommy again. You might feel he's gonna feel the pressure to go say no more, but nah, man.
All or nothing.
Easy, John. All or nothing.
You've got it.
Oh wait, is he gonna shake? Ah, man shook his hand like that as well. Hey, he walked over and squeezed the blood out of man's hand. Thing.
All or nothing. You've got it.
And then see now Tommy's like, yeah.
You've got it.
Bam, grabs up man's hand, squeezing the blood out of his hand. Hey. But I hope Tommy's not too pent up though. That's the end of the clips anyway. I knew they weren't going to be too much to react to, obviously, because you know me, man. I ain't going to break down everything. I leave that to Wade. But yeah, it was a decent press conference. Jake managed to draw him into the deal at the end. Tommy shaking his hand on a violent thing. And we're edging closer and closer. We might be setting up our one live stream. I can't lie, I don't want to promise the people that, but it's something that we're trying to, talking to Lee, you know what I'm saying, try to get the Real Wills gang out for a few hours to do a live stream. But people, I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. The subscribe count is growing, people, and we want it to continue that way. So please click the subscribe button, please like, please put on your notification bell, and we will see you again with more content. It's the end of the video. If you don't know what I do at the end of the video,